Yay. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us, those who do join us live. We know there might be a little bit of competition tonight with some big event happening on television, but don't you fear. If you tune in, which we hope you will get so much fun things and the chance to talk to Sandra Block, who's joining us to talk about a really, really creepy book called The Bachelorette Party. It's so good. We loved it, and we're all like really scared by it. I read it so fast, I couldn't put it down. Kimberly is back too, so we're excited to be reunited for the first time in a while. Hopefully, we all will survive. We have tons to talk about, so grab your cocktail and your list of questions for Sandra, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Welcome to the Killer Author Club. 3 best-selling authors talking about killing, of the fictional kind, with the best thriller and suspense authors in the business. Killer conversations, killer cocktails, and killer guests, with your hosts, Kimberly Bell, Heather Gutenkopf, and Kara Ruda. This is the Killer Author Club.
Yay, I love our new theme song. I know. Hello to all of our new members and to the Killer Author Club OGs on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, wherever you're watching tonight. Thanks for being here. I am Killer Kara Ruda.
And I'm Killer Heather Gutenkopf.
And I am Killer Kimberly Bell.
And we're so excited to have Sandra Block here with us. We'll be talking all about the Bachelorette Party. And like always, we have tons of killer fun planned for all of you tonight. Speaking of fun, how about some fun in your inbox, you guys? We're launching our newsletter. And if you'd like to be the first to know about big plans, stuff that's going on, you need to sign up tonight at killerauthorclub.com. And make sure you drop your questions for Sandra in the comments as always, and we'll be scouting them to get through as many as we can. So for now, Heather, could you introduce our special guest?
It would be my honor. Sandra A. Block graduated from college at Harvard, then returned to her native land of Buffalo, New York for medical training and never left. She's a practicing neurologist and a proud Sabres fan and lives at home with her husband, 2 children, an impetuous yellow lab. Her work has been published in the Washington Post. Her debut novel, Little Black Lies, was the first book in the Zoe Goldman series and a finalist in the International Thriller Awards. It was followed by The Girl Without a Name and The Secret Room, also in the Goldman series. I love those books. You know that, Sandra. Those are so good. She has also written What Happened That Night, a standalone, and Girl Overboard, her first young adult thriller. The Bachelorette Party released last Tuesday, and we cannot wait to talk about it. Congratulations, Sandra, and welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're so happy that you could join us, Killers, and we're here for your Bachelorette Party.
It's great.
In our finest.
I love it. I love it.
And we're going to dive into great detail into the book in just a few moments. But for now, can you give us just a brief elevator pitch about the Bachelorette Party?
Yes. So, as I said, you'll have to excuse me. I've kind of bronchitis going on. But Alex is graduated from college a couple of years ago. So I'd say new adulty kind of person. And she's got this dream internship at a place called Crime Line. She's got this awesome husband who's perfect. And her 2 besties decide to throw her a bachelorette party, but they know their true crime aficionado friend doesn't want any old regular bachelorette party. So they take her to this kind of haunted hunting lodge in upstate New York. And that was the site of the brutal 666 murders, which is the case that she is investigating for her Dreamline internship. So I'll just say one more thing, which is that they have all this fun, great time. And then in the middle of the night, she wakes up, her friends are gone, there's blood everywhere, blood on her hands, and she has no idea what happened. So now she's got to try to find her friends and save them and save herself.
So good. So
It was a
good.
long
So
elevator pitch,
scary.
but maybe we would
No,
have.
no, it's
No, it's perfect. So we love it. We have so many questions for you. So, and readers, don't forget to drop your questions in the comments as well. But first, we need to talk about this episode's special drink. Kimberly?
Oh, okay.
That's right. So as you guys know, the killers love our cocktails and mocktails and tasty drinks. And every episode we ask our killer guests to come equipped with their favorite, and recipes for all the drinks and all the cocktails that have come before are at killerauthorclub.com under the tab Killer Cocktails. But Sandra, you chose the ski lift. Will you tell us why?
Well, because I figured it's kind of fitting for a blizzardy lodge scene. So I skipped ahead a few months and we went to the hot chocolate. Now, I will say I was going to do a cocktail, but since I'm like pretty sick, I decided to do a mocktail. And I will be taking demure and mindful sips of my mocktail.
Well, probably a good choice. Yes. Cheers.
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 Cheers, everyone. All right. The Killers started the Killer Author Club 2 years ago so that readers like you can interact with some of the best suspense and thriller authors in the business. Our fall lineup includes superstars like Robert Dugoni, Geneva Rose, Jeffrey Deaver, and Isabella Maldonado, and so many more. So for the full schedule and who's coming up next, visit killerauthorclub.com. But tonight we're here to talk about the Bachelorette Party. I'll read anything Sandra Block writes. You should too, says Lisa Scotolini. So I hope I said that right. And then let's see. Oh, I think Felipe Ryan said riveting, propulsive, and incredibly surprising. I totally agree. The Bachelorette Party is an absolute knockout. And finally, from Danielle Gerard, a true crime reporter obsessed with a serial killer has her bachelorette sleepover in the very place that the grisly murder was committed, and she'll be lucky to get out alive. ... So Sandra, obviously, you're a highly skilled killer. Now we need to know your answer to the killer question. Who do you kill?
So, excuse me, I thought about this question and I realized on the whole, I don't really kill many people. Isn't that crazy? So usually my heroine, it's always a heroine. I don't really write about guys. Not that I have anything against guys, but ends up kind of saving the day, of course, and police cars are on the way. So it's usually more of the killer, the one who's trying to kill, kind of being carted off in handcuffs and never to be seen again, saying, if it weren't for those meddling kids, I would have done this or that. So I think the one I'm writing right now, is the only one where she actually kills someone. And the person is fairly kind of like a sociopath. So, I mean, I'm not saying you should kill sociopaths, but it kind of makes sense in this scenario.
Feels like karma.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Well, good. I'm glad you're getting more comfortable with your killing ways.
Yes, true, I guess.
So funny. Sandra's like, what do you mean by the killer question?
I was definitely confused. Yes.
I know.
I was
We
like,
like to
do I
throw
need to
people-
get my lawyer on here or how are we
I know.
doing it?
Yeah, we were wondering the same thing. No. Anyway. Okay. So The Bachelorette Party is a crazy fast read and it's filled with great twists, which we can't talk about too many of them tonight because we don't want to spoil anything. And that's really a sign, I think, of a great book when you can't say too much about anything, but we'll try to ask you questions. Okay. So how did you come up with this idea? Did it pop into your head or how did this come about?
So, excuse me, I struggle with this question a little because the thing that popped in my head was the major twist. So I can't really give that away. But I just was thinking about that and I thought, I've seen that before in a different sort of a show. And I remember just being like floored, like, oh my gosh, how could that have happened? And how did I get fooled? So I thought, well, maybe I could do that as well. And it actually started as the birthday party. So I know we need to kill this bronchitis. Thank you. I agree with you very much. So it started off as the birthday party with younger kind of, oh, thank you, set of people. And then at like 3 a.m., literally, this bolt of lightning comes right down the ceiling, was like, it's not a birthday party, it's a bachelorette party. And I just jumped out of bed and like rewrote 50 pages. And, it was one of those things that doesn't happen very much, but when it does, you got to listen to your instinct.
Oh, yeah. And that's so fun, those times. I love those times. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, but jumping out of bed is extreme. I might just wait until the morning.
I love those. And then I write something down.
Remember, you think you'll remember, and you won't remember.
No, it doesn't.
That is true. That is true. I don't know how many times I will totally remember this little detail, and then
you're like, what?
No idea.
But have you ever done the opposite, where you have this dream and you think, this is so amazing, this idea that I'm going to wake up and I'm going to write a whole, book about it, or maybe a play or something. And then when you wake up, you're like, what the hell? That makes no sense.
Exactly.
Yes, that too.
Yes,
Right. For sure.
Oh my gosh. Well, and I loved Alex's character and all the trouble you put her into. She's an intern for Crime Line, as you said, and she's running out of time convincing her boss to revisit the 666 serial killer. She's engaged to a man she's only known for 6 months, who has a 12-year-old son who isn't her fan. And her best friends are taking her on this bachelorette weekend that she doesn't really want to go on. I thought that was a great setup for like everything, like from the beginning, everything's like
all these things could be going well, but they're not quite going well. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And she's a great character. I really liked her personality.
Oh, thank you.
Sure.
And she's got these two great best friends, Melody and Lainey. So tell us a little bit about them. Where did they come from?
They kind of just came with her, like peanut butter and jelly. They just sort of like glommed onto her, and they came fairly fully fleshed out in my head. I can hear them really well and see their, Lainey always scowling and Melody being like, la, 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 la. So I didn't really have to think too hard about that. It just kind of came together with Alex.
Well, as a WNBA fan, I loved how Lainey's she plays for the Liberty.
Right?
New York Liberty.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, I love this so much.
And she has a little fan ask for her autograph. And
yeah,
that was so cute. I love that.
Yeah, she's I like her. I like her too.
Yeah.
Love
So fun.
it. So did you do a lot of research on serial killers for this?
Not a lot. I mean, I think I've watched enough bad true crime, not even bad crime, but more like bad for me. Maybe I shouldn't be watching all this forensic files.
It's terrifying.
So I felt like I kind of knew a bit about them, but I don't know that. It seems like the profile of any serial killer is probably a little different. This one too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so Eric Myers is kind of a different sort of serial killer, but he is in prison and convicted of the killings. And Alex, I don't know, Alex starts by writing to him. And I don't know, just like the way that you ramped up the tension by having they're just writing to each other, and then they get to be face to face by FaceTime. And like, was that purposeful, or did it just kind of evolve as you wrote?
No, it was purposeful. I mean, the very beginning, she's like waiting for this envelope. Is he ever going to write to me? And then you get that he's kind of a manipulative fellow a little bit when he's like, oh, and could you just send a little money? They take Venmo for Doritos and such. So, and then it does seem to creep closer and closer. And he starts to know things about her family that she doesn't really feel comfortable with. So yeah, that was sort of intentional.
Yeah.
And I kind of noticed there are a couple characters. So like Eric Myers, that kind of reminded me of Michael Myers when I was thinking of like a serial killer type scary person
You
from
mean
Friday the 13th kind of lore.
Mm.
And then there was another
okay?
that I thought was a nod to Janet Leigh from Psycho. Was one of them?
Yes.
So you went really kind of like meta there. I love
Well,
it.
it's funny. That's so like complimentary. I don't think I meant to be meta, but I saw a review. I don't tend to read my reviews, but they said that they were just so freaked out, like that it just was almost like horrific. Though it wasn't horror, but for some reason she was really freaked out, and the Psycho poster sort of like didn't help. And so I thought that was funny that people actually paid attention to that little throwaway thing.
Love it.
So Renee is asking a question that I wanted to ask too. Would any of you write to a convicted serial killer? Have you guys ever written to anyone in prison like, hey, love your story? Like, what do you even say?
No, but I mean, that would be incredible research though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that
then I'd
would
be
be.
afraid they'd find out where I lived or something. And then
That's it. You're opening yourself up to
Yeah.
them in a way that maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
it's
see it
too.
on TV shows, and it usually doesn't end well. So
Right.
It's a
usually the
cautionary
premise
tale
of
for
a
sure.
novel or a TV show that.
One of our friends does death penalty cases. He represents people, and most of them go to prison or worse. And he gets phone calls from them because they know who he is, and his wife will answer. It's kind of scary. That's as close as I've
They
been.
track him down. Yeah.
That's close.
that would be creepy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, and all right, so Melody and Lainey, although we've mentioned that before, we haven't talked as much about Melody. I guess the question, without giving anything away, they've really gone all in for this bachelorette party. So that's, I guess, indicative of how close their friendship is. Tell us like their backstory, how they all three kind of connected, and then why they're playing.
yeah, it's interesting. Some people have said their relationship in the end was kind of abusive. And again, not giving things away, but I didn't see it that way, but I think it's interesting. Some people would. Yeah, they went to college, and I think, excuse me, you bond, right, in college with your roommates, I think more than any other friend you make. And so they had this bond. They were all really different. And she kind of mentions that in the first scene, of sort of, one's real tall, one's real short. She's sort of the middle peacekeeper, like if they're three sisters. And they happen to go to New York City and kind of launch all of their dream careers together, which I thought was really cool, because I don't think that happens a lot, that roommates kind of stay in the same area. So I think they are maybe pulling each other back and pushing each other forward. It's a little bit of a struggle, or a back and forth there.
Yeah. So, and we have another question. How do you choose your characters? Are some of them ever modeled on people around you? I get asked that a lot as an author. I think every author does.
Yeah, I think they tend to be a kind of a composite of people I've met. Probably some novels have someone that's more specific that I kind of have modeled them on, but I don't in general say, oh, this person's just like so and so, because I don't know if that would be fair. It seems like you should just let whoever wants to be there come to you, and then you can meet them and work with them, and instead of trying to totally sculpt them from the beginning.
Yeah.
It takes some time to get to know your characters, I think, on the page. And yeah, I need that time to get to know them.
Me too. And to
Yeah.
mull over. Yeah. I could probably write words faster. My brain can't think through the story faster.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we should give Sandra's voice a break and go to the giveaway. What do you guys think?
Poor thing.
Yes. Yeah. So
Yeah,
do we want to jump?
I'm hopped up on so much stuff. I'm like on steroids. I'm on codeine for this cough. So that's another reason I didn't have alcohol with me.
That's probably good.
Yeah, exactly.
You might end up like a character in a
talking
book
for a
or
minute.
something that way.
Yeah, it
So,
sounds terrible.
yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It'll
Yeah.
get better. Eventually,
Yeah.
it'll get better. But
Yeah.
yeah, thank you for your concern.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the term popcorn thriller? Can I just ask you that?
Yeah.
Yeah. My last book was called A Popcorn Thriller.
I get
I
accused of
love
that
that
occasionally
term.
too.
Yeah.
I've never heard the term, and I love it. I think that's awesome.
I
Yeah.
think it's a great compliment. Like, yeah, you get your popcorn and you're just going to sit down and
Just
Read.
fly through
eventually
that
come up
baby.
for air.
Right.
That's nice. I don't
Love
think
it.
I've ever gotten that. Now
Yeah.
I've got another goal.
Well, so this is exciting for our readers because Sandra is giving away 3 copies of the Bachelorette Party to U.S. viewers. So it doesn't matter if you're watching us on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. We scour the comments everywhere we stream. But please make sure you shout out where you're from. But you have to answer this question first in the comments. Which medical specialty does Sandra practice in? So drop that in the comments. And yes, Sandra is incredibly smart. We get all these very smart authors on our podcast. So our live stream. So tell us what practice Sandra is involved in, specialty.
All right. Well, the killers love our indies and we want to support them in any way we can, which is why we ask every author to tell us their favorite. Sandra
Yes.
tonight has chosen Talking Leaves Books in Buffalo, New York. Sandra, would you like to tell us why you love them so?
I think probably because I kind of grew up with them. You'd always go in there, and it's a lot different now. They've moved the store, but it used to be you sort of like wander around this labyrinth of books with little hard cardboard things saying, religion or whatever, and it was kind of a gas. And then with my debut, I had a party there, and they were great to me. And it was just, it's your debut, it was just such a fun night. So they still have a special place in my heart, and they're always very supportive.
I love a local indie. So I just dropped the link to the Bachelorette Party in the comments so you can order it along with any others on your wish list.
Yay.
Thank you.
All right. And obviously the killers love to read, and the Killer Author Club is the place to share fabulous books, post pictures, write reviews, ask for recommendations, and give yours. So we really appreciate everybody that's in our Facebook group, and we'd love for everyone to join. Anyway, Sandra, we also need to know, what are you currently reading?
Okay, I came prepared.
Oh, I love that.
It is Close to Death. If I get it in the thing.
Oh,
By Anthony Williams.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think he's so funny, and so the whole idea of it's so great. I wrote this little article lately called Screwball Thrillers. So I guess not popcorn, but screwball. And he was featured. I put him as one of them because I think it fit.
Very fitting. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
All right. And speaking of amazing reads, we have 2 new ones to add to your top lane TBR. First, check out The Examiner by Janice Hallett. And The Examiner is a devilishly clever mystery about students in an art master's program that may have ulterior motives, told in WhatsApp messages, emails, and even their final essays, read and graded by an enigmatic examiner. So we'll drop the link to that. Janice is giving away 1 copy to a lucky US viewer, so let us know if you're interested in winning her book. We also have Devil's Island by Midge Raymond and John Yunker. An Australian naturalist leads a group of 6 hikers into the wilderness of Devil's Island, where Tasmanian devils are heard but not seen. Yikes. Only 2 will make it out alive. And we'll drop a link from Amazon to that. And Midge and John are giving away 3 copies to 3 viewers tonight from the US. So please let us know if you're interested in reading that book. And drop a comment and we'll pick some lucky winners. Okay, and also we should mention Heather's latest, everyone is watching, is Big Brother Meets Clue in a reality show gone wrong. So you got to grab that.
That was a great one.
Yeah, it was. I loved it. And Kara's latest, The Second Mrs. Strom, is set in Paris. And you know, I love Paris. Has the tagline, "A successful marriage is built on lies." Intriguing.
Yes.
It's a sequel, right?
Yes, yeah, the best day
Okay,
ever.
yeah, great.
Yeah. And speaking of Paris, Paris is always a good idea. And so is Kimberly's The Paris Widow, about a dream vacation gone horribly wrong.
And it's, by the way, on sale, $6.99 for the ebook. So
Grab it.
Grab it, yeah.
All right. And now it's that time we have to talk about our killer swag. So membership has its privileges. So if you are a member of our members only private Facebook group called the Killer Author Clubhouse, you have a chance to win killer swag every time we are on air. So make sure you join. And if you're not a member, just request it. We'll let you in. We're nice killers. And so every time we have an episode, we choose a name from the KAC Clubhouse hat to win a piece of swag: t-shirts, mugs, candles, totes, all of which can be found at killerauthorclub.com. But tonight's winner is Dana Upton. So Dana, if you're watching, make sure you contact one of the killers and we will make sure to get some fun swag your way.
Hooray! Yeah. All right. So Sandra, we have excellent news for you. You have survived the Killer Author Club. I know it was close. We had a couple of close calls.
We did, yes. Yeah.
But you have survived, and you win this lovely plaque to print and hang on your wall. Put it wherever you can see it. Wear it proudly.
Awesome! Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, only a few survive, Sandra, and many don't have that cough. So you are a real survivor.
Yes, indeed.
And that does it for tonight's episode, you guys. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Also, we need to wish Book Reporter a big thank you for sharing Killer Author Club news with their readers. We'll be back again in 2 weeks, our usual Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, with the one and only Danielle Trusoni, who will be talking all about the puzzle box. In the meantime, please find us wasting too much time on social media, except for my Facebook page did get hacked, so don't go there right now. And but we're on everything else, and Twitter, TikTok, and all of that. And for anything you need to know about Killer Author Club, go to killerauthorclub.com. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Good night.
That does it for tonight's show. Thank you for tuning in. If you'd like to catch our next show live, we're every other Tuesday night on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. For times, upcoming schedule, and to catch up on past episodes, visit us at killerauthorclub.com. Happy reading. Now get on out there and kill that TBR.